Well, we're back with another Camaro video. Got the rod knock. It went away for about a week maybe, but it's back and it's gotten really fucking bad now. So what we're gonna do is, I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna pull the entire engine out or just do it while it's in there. I'm thinking that I might have to replace the cam if the cam lobes got worn down. So I might end up pulling the entire engine out, I might not. Either way, I'm gonna have to replace, I'm pretty sure, the lifters, lifter arms, all of that stuff. I'm gonna go with Johnson brand because I heard they're really good, especially in performance applications. I've gotten the engine disassembled up to this point. It's not difficult. This wiring harness runs back behind this head. That's all the connectors for the fuel rails. I'm going to take this plate off to open up the rest of it. It's just these bolts. Pop those off, this plate comes off. And the first thing I took off was the cold air intake. If you don't have that, just whatever's going to the throttle body, remove that, which is this piece. Disconnect this harness, take this hose off. You don't have to take the fuel rails off, you just have to disconnect this one. And the fuel line that connects here is bendy. It's right here. And right here, it's flexible, so you can just move it over here. I plugged it so I could stop spilling fuel all over the place. So essentially, you just want to get everything out of the way so you can take the valve covers off. Well, first you got to take these off. Take the coils off, valve covers off. You don't have to unplug the individual coils, just unplug this harness right here on both of them. Remove this. Anything that's holding this on, take it off. So when you get to this point here, and then all of these rocker arms are snug. If you get side to side motion, that's fine. That's not going to cause you any problems. Up and down is what we're looking for. So it's going to, if the valve lashes off, it's going to cause a ticking. None of these on this side are doing it, which is to be expected because I didn't have any noise coming from this side of the engine. Noise was coming from this side of the engine, and it got pretty bad. And this rocker right here has a lot of up and down play. So that is going to cause a metallic clanking noise every time the push rod comes up. It's making a clank on this because it has to close a little bit of a gap. And then that's also going to cause this part that pushes down to open the valve is going to cause a metallic clank on that. Metallic clanking coming from this bastard right here, which is kind of good news if it's just a valve lash, because that means it's not a stuck lifter bucket or a lifter, anything like that. Well, this is the only one that's loose. If it's just a valve lash, easy fix. But we're going to check to make sure all of the rocker arms move when the engine's getting turned over. It's not going to fire clearly because there's no spark getting to it. There is still power going to this fuel line, so you want to remove either the fuse or the relay for the fuel pump. That way when you turn the key on, you're not shooting gas everywhere. To disable the fuel pump, from what I gathered, it's not under the hood. There's a fuse under here. In my car, it's F15, this one. It says FCSM. I don't know if I can get that to focus. F15 FCSM fuse boxes right here, passenger side behind this. You gotta take all the crap out of your trunk to get to it. Let's pop that fuse out, and from what I've gathered, that should stop the fuel pump from pumping. And just in case, we got this soda bottle. Fuel line fits perfectly down in there, just in case, so the fuel will go inside there instead of all over my hood or engine compartment. So we just want to make sure all of the rockers are rocking. All the rocker arms were moving on the driver's side. That's a good sign. Now we're going to check the passenger side. When I was reviewing the video, all the rocker arms were moving, so that's good. I didn't realize this hole spits out oil, a bunch of it, so I effectively made a huge mess. So learn from my mistake. When you're gonna check your rocker arms, make sure they're moving. I would leave this plate on. That way all of those oil passages are sealed, and you don't do what I did and make a big mess. Before I start the process of torquing down, I'm just going to torque down every single one of these rockers. I put the valley plate back on and torque these down to 18 pound-feet. Do like a crisscross pattern so you get equal pressure all the way across. Alright, so I rotated the crank pulley. While rotating that, I was watching this rocker arm. When it goes all the way, when this pushes all the way down, it's at the top of the lobe, and when it comes back up at rest is when it's on the lowest part of the lobe. And then I torqued this down to 22 foot-pounds, and it's still loose. So I'm thinking that the rocker arm or the push rod might be worn down a little bit. We're going to take this off and have a look at that. And this push rod on the left is the one that's out of the rocker that was giving me trouble. It's the same length as this one. It's not bent, it's not worn down, and it still had a lot of slack in the rocker, as you could see. So my guess is that the camshaft or the lifter is worn down. So I'm just gonna replace the camshaft, all the lifters, all the rods, maybe the rockers too, I don't know. I might just upgrade the entire valve train. I'm not sure, I'll look at the valves once I get the heads off, but for this process, I'm gonna end up removing the entire engine. In the next video, that's what we'll be doing, taking the engine out.